catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Well, good evening. Good evening. Hello. How are you guys doing today? Today, we are going to get started with the culture of the unspoken word. And I am Crystal, and I want to welcome you and thank you for your patience. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up my co-host to say hello and welcome you to the stage as well. Lene, are you with me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hello, 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 everybody. Peace and blessings.
So, Lene, I found something, a lot of people don't know what spoken word is. And I wanted to see if we can share something to kind of let people understand what it's all about. And so I found something and I wanted to share it before we get started. I thought it was pretty interesting. And let me show you what I found, because like I said, I thought this was pretty cool. It was a video, and I want to hear your take on it, because while we're doing this, we definitely want to make sure that people understand what is spoken word. So let's go ahead and let me get to this so I can show you this real quick. I thought it was pretty cool. It's kind of like a cartoon version, and I'm going to run it, and I'm going to share it and bring it on up so we could do this and let the people see what it's all about. You know, I always got to have a surprise for you, right?
I know. I'm excited over here.
All right, so check this out. While I get this started, I thought this was pretty cool.
Throughout history and across all cultures, stories have been told to entertain and connect communities. Since the mid-20th century, a powerful new performance style has spread across the world. Welcome to the short history of the spoken word poetry movement. Performance poetry or spoken word emerged from the jazz poetry of the 1920s and subsequent experiments of the beat generation writers. In the late 50s, beat poetry found its way to the UK. In the 1960s, spoken word embraced its role as a popular voice for counterculture, both in the US and the UK. And during the US Civil Rights Movement, poetry provided a powerful format for protest and artistic expression. During the 60s and 70s, political black poetry laid the foundations of hip-hop in the US, whilst the UK's ranting poets captured the anti-establishment feelings of punk. In 1982, Apples and Snakes was founded in the upstairs room of a London pub. Soon after, in 1984, the first poetry slam took place in Chicago. As it developed, spoken word became a melting pot of influences from other art forms. Dub poetry grew out of the lyrical performance style of toasting in the Jamaican reggae scene of the 1960s. Comedy poetry became a common feature of the cabaret scene, and during the 90s, spoken word artists started writing solo poetry shows. MC battles captured the popular consciousness, and slams spread across the world. In the late 2000s, poets began to get thousands, then millions of views online, inspiring more and more people and taking poetry into your front room. Currently, spoken word poets around the world are headlining festivals, going viral, and keeping the activist tradition alive. The future? Poems in space? Poet robots? Poems on the ocean floor? Make some noise. Speak your truth. You are the poet.
I thought that was pretty cool. What you think
That is
about
so
that?
informative.
I thought that was pretty cool.
That is so informative. I love that. And the artistry throughout that, it really pulls you into where it keeps you entertained as well. I like it. I like it.
So
Okay.
You
Come on,
and
teacher.
I have come up with something, and we have a treat tonight. Now, I know we had 3 people, and I know things happen sometime, and I do believe that one of the people we have won't be with us today, but we still want to hear about the 2 people we have. But before we do that, I have a little intro, so I'll take a moment to do that. But first, I want to just ask you, how you doing today? You had a good day?
I did. I had a productive day. Can't complain. It wouldn't matter even if I did. So I had a good day. How about you?
I can't complain either. And tell the people a little bit about who is Lene, the herbal butterfly, and why you even do poetry.
So Lene the Herbal Butterfly is a poet because I didn't have a voice when I was younger and I wanted to speak up for myself. And it started when I lost my grandmother. I lost my grandmother and I really didn't know how to express myself. So once I was able to venture into poetry and really be able to, I wrote my first poem. And my mom was like, "You just need to keep writing. You need to keep writing, keep doing it, don't stop." And then I got into Def Jam poetry and I started listening to Jill Scott. I started listening to different people, Lauryn Hill, all types of artists throughout my whole life. And poetry has been right there with me. So it's that's how it started. Lene Monroe had to just find her voice at one point because at first I didn't know how to express myself, and then I didn't really know my voice. I didn't know how strong it was. So poetry has helped me gain that strength in myself.
Wow. And so talk to us about what tonight is all about.
So tonight is about more poets telling their story, giving their poetry, giving their heart, giving their knowledge, giving their wisdom. It's about fun. It's about community. It's about exchange of experiences. Tonight is about the embracing the unspoken word. You know, the culture of the unspoken word, the things that we go through to write those poems, the things that we have to experience to be able to make y'all go, did you hear that? Those were bars. The research, the everything. We always want to embrace that as well too, not just the bars, but what's behind the bars. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
With that being said, let's prepare. And here we go. Wow. So with that being said, who do we have with us tonight? I saw the picture, but I want you to do the honor of bringing up our first guest.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're going to bring up our first guest. He is a well-known poet, has multiple books, does shows on Instagram every single day. He is a thesaurus, a walking thesaurus. Okay. Y'all give a round of applause and bring up with love, Mr. AJ Houston.
All right, there he is. AJ, how you doing?
Crystal, I hung out with you before.
You know what? That's a blessing. I have met the 2 of you in person, so that is always, always special when I can have someone that I've met in person. So I know you're real.
I know. I can't wait to hang out with my girl because we got some talking. We got some things to talk about. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know the other young lady that you have, she's the real deal too, because she's doing some amazing things. What is her name and who is she?
Oh my goodness, this lyricist, this yoga master art creative poet, spiritual enlightened beautiful spirit, Miss Enamored
Oh
Ink.
my goodness. Oh my goodness. How you doing, young lady?
Good evening. Good evening. I am wonderful. How are you feeling?
I'm doing amazing, amazing. So I always ask individuals when they come in, and they brings people exactly how long they've been doing poetry and to tell us a little bit about themselves. You heard Lene tell her story. So AJ, how did you get into poetry or spoken word?
Well, I memorized all of Dr. Seuss books my mother read to me, so she thought I could read. And when she found out I couldn't, she made me write my alphabets and do my numbers. But I'm saying I believe that Dr. Seuss created everything from nothing. So I spent all my days trying to find all my nothings to create everything from. I've been writing all my life from 5 on, 4 on, whatever it was. After I finished writing my alphabets, I had to write. But I always wrote poetry. My grandmother's, my mother always told me, "Oh, this is the bomb." I know it probably sucked, but it was that information, those voices that made me believe in me. See, you don't. It doesn't matter what it takes for you to believe in you. You just need to know you need to believe in you, and from there you can go anywhere.
Mhm.
Wow. And where are you from?
I'm originally from Dallas,
Okay.
Texas.
Dallas. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. And how about you, Enamored Inc.?
For me, what was the question again?
How did you start writing poetry and how young was you?
So I would say before I learned how to actually write, like I always had these very vivid um things to express. Like I was always expressing some type of way, whether it was dance or whether it was with my body, outside of harmonizing, right? So I feel like I've been writing forever, but I wrote my first like piece of literature, like my first poem in the third grade, where we had this competition on putting together a poem, and I wrote about my life experience and how I viewed or how I lived or how I grew up, right? So it was more so about viewing life change, seasons change, children go up, things happen, play, gray days, sunny days, and to watch this entire life happen in front of me. But I'm doing it from my window. I'm growing from the window. There's nothing else for me right there. And so it was just my way of expressing my innermost feelings and thoughts and what was around me, and having a friend. Like my writing became my friend.
Wow. So here's a question for all three of you as poets. In 2025, did you ever imagine that the spoken word or poetry would ever be what it is today and the way that people receive it and the way it helps people to heal? I'll start with you, Lene, then Enamored, then AJ.
I believe yes. I believe so. I definitely seen it being something that was just gonna take over the world, honestly, because everybody has something to say. Everybody has something to say. It doesn't have to necessarily rhyme. It does have to have some, truth and knowledge to it, to hold weight, but everybody has something to say. So there's always space for somebody to say something in this category. So yeah, I definitely believe, and it's still going to keep going. It's going to keep growing.
Wow. How about you, Enamored?
For me, yes, I feel like everything exists in the now. So if this is what it is that we're seeing, then this is what it is that we're creating. And if this is what we're creating, then this is what is we're seeing. So,
Wow.
it's all kind of one and the same. We exist now. It exists where we are. So, yes. And it will continue to exist as long as this is something that we are consciously, effortly putting some type of creation towards, some type of energy towards. Yeah. It's a
AJ.
frequency. Yeah.
Well, I believe in the power of words, and I believe that everywhere we go, somebody's going to say something that's going to matter more to you later than then. Because there's always something that we hold that we weren't ready to receive when the sound comes. That later on, when I'm on, you're gonna say, "Oh, that's what it was." So I've always believed poetry would be the biggest thing. See, I think poetry became what it is when everything shut down. They thought the world was quiet. There were only poets.
Mm.
There were poets from UK, from Belgium, from India, from Africa. There were all these poets meeting for the first time on all these platforms, sharing all this information. And now they can't shut it off.
Mm, wow. You're right. You're right. Now, I will say this. I remember I took my cousin to, as a matter of fact, I took him to where you was at, AJ. What, you remember that? You met my cousin from New York. And he is almost 80 years old, and he had never experienced a live poetry reading, spoken word, open mic, nothing like that. He was so inspired. He was so invigorated. I mean, he was blown away. He was blown away by all the poetry and everything. And to see that reaction from him really lets me see a lot of people are missing out because he had no clue this was going on. And he was like, man, I got to find this in New York. I said, yeah, this is happening around the world. You can find this everywhere, you know. So that's a beautiful thing. So, Lene, let me ask you something. What you have up your sleeve tonight? Because you always seem to have something up your sleeve. And now I know that we're missing Miss Betty. I do want you to take a moment to acknowledge her because we did advertise her and just give her props and just tell the people who she is and how they can follow her. And we'll hope to get her another time. And then tell us what you got up your sleeve, young lady.
So we want to give big love, not to tell business, but we want to give big love to Miss Betty because within this season's changing, people get sick, people go through stuff, whatever the case may be. She's not able to be here with us tonight, but she's okay, but she's not able to be here. She needs to rest. So we're going to send her love, prayers, and peace, that she can be she recovers well. She's doing good right now. She just needs some time. So definitely check out her page. It's UBILES Betty. That's on Instagram. Make sure you go check out her page. She does poetry. She's an activist. She's an artist. She does all types of things. She's definitely a supporter too. She supports a lot of the poets in the community. She shares, she shows love, and she's hilarious. Let me tell you, talk to her behind the camera. She's hilarious. But yes, we definitely want to show her love, and thank you all so much for just everybody being here tonight. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Miss Crystal. Everybody in the comments. Thank y'all for showing love. Make sure y'all share, and follow each person that we show on the shows. Because if you want more, how are you gonna know if you don't show love to their page? If you don't follow their page, you gotta go on there. Y'all know what to do. Just get to it. But we gonna get into the show because y'all know I got some stuff. I got some stuff up my sleeve. Y'all heard it. So we're going to have these poets, right? These two poets right here. They're going to give y'all 3 bomb poems. I mean, 3 poems that tell exactly who they are, that gives the essence of them, that gives the love and the reason of why poetry is so effective in their lives. So after that, y'all know what happens, right? We do a freestyle. So we're going to give y'all a chance to give us 3 words in the comments, and then the poets right here will freestyle with those words and show you how they do it just off the top of the dome. So make sure y'all stay tuned because it's gonna be good, y'all. Y'all about to learn. Y'all finna learn some things tonight. All right.
Wow. And while you're at it, you see what she said. Let's make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we'll make sure you get information about the poet. So I'm gonna let you give them instructions on what you want them to do and call up who you want to call up first.
All righty. So we're gonna start this off by starting with the one, the only, Mr. AJ Houston. Come on up and give them that poetry.
All right. And y'all do me a favor. When you come up, make sure that you don't have a lot of headspace, right? So make sure that when you're up there, you up close so we can see you. AJ, give it to him. I know y'all get ready. Because there's a reason why they call him the word artist. Trust me when I tell you.
Well, you know, I'm so grateful for being here. Let me see. I love starting off with love poetry because that gives everybody a time to be comfortable. So I
Oh,
want you to be comfortable. So see, no one man can, not even Atlas could hold the earth still. So when our worlds collided, you thought I wasn't trying to move them. I was, just didn't have the power. Wasn't made of my substance. You see, I am formed of love. So yes, what is love? See, love is a cataclysmic eruption of emotions, eons of atoms and protons battling too big to be a micron. This ball wasn't formed in a day. It took more than a millennium to get here. There's no such thing as 50-50. It's always been 100-100. I am 250 plus. Love enough for the both of us. But again, you ask of love. Love is a young boy on a ladder carving marks into the door jam, hoping to one day reach the height of his imagination. I always believed that pain was an eclipse and smiles and frowns overlap, making tears the only escape for our laughter. So I laugh a lot. It's said to be the best medicine. See, love never came with forever attached. we pin that on ourselves. It can only last as long as the life of the person who uses it, and it does. It never fails. See, love is forever, lost in nowhere, with an X mark in the spot. Time is yet to pick up his shovel and dig up. We constantly grab at air for the substance we know will make us better stewards of hearts, but we're no surgeons. We use scalpels only to cut us apart. The memories we've purposely forgotten, tucked away beneath the rubber broken hearts we survive. The faded footprints, the muffled sounds of joy and sadness. Our shadows can no longer whisper. See, love is a firm-footed juggler with bad hands. He couldn't hold his palms if it was handed to him. We live in this bubble absorbing ultraviolet solar radiation, so when worlds collide, the atmospheric pressure renders humans unable to breathe, gravity fails us, volcanoes erupt, and we're jettisoned out of our comfort zones. See, love is a 10-year-old girl afraid to double just because her family's allergic to ropes. An overweight personal trainer who knows perfectly well what to do but can't stick to the plan himself. Love is a song in A minor sung in E flat. A 109-yard touchdown return in a baseball game, spring in December. An announcer knows about it with the signature on the bottom. It doesn't always fit in the box we hide it in. See, love is cross stitches and patches on the knees of our jeans from begging heaven for the fireworks we be containing our childhood fantasies. If we should ever stop to notice, each day the sun rises. There's the brightest of glows with heat covering us all with solar flares, combustible gas exploding constantly. There are fireworks all around us. Maybe we've never told or could not detect for ourselves. See, love is in the details. The instructions we never read, the blueprints we tossed to the side, thinking we could build it ourselves, but our fingers have never been long enough. See, love is a 10-question pop quiz no one knows the right answer to. A Ponzi scheme you've invested all your time and emotions in, a great story to tell, you just can't remember the ending. It's a hero saved by the damsel in distress. Love is a daughter trying hard to recall the last words her mother told her not to forget. It's scoring a perfect 100 on the DNA test. Love is soldiers laughing on the final flight home. It's the first smile in the morning, the last sigh at night. Peace with the Lord, accepting of war on the side. A dentist performing brain surgery. Sea salt and the sugar dispenser. A mariachi band at a rap concert. It's planets colliding. Egos and tongues fighting for superiority, each one to be the axis. Their worlds revolves around. It's an impact of magnanimous proportions. It's not yelling. We need to listen. It's waiting instead of acting. It's holding hands in the midst of the storm. You see, love's in the details.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I done told y'all. I done told y'all. I told y'all. Like, I'm telling you, he just gave you so many lessons. There was chemistry in there. There was fantasy. There was knowledge. There was truth. There was everything in that poem. Everything. And even when you were moving, it was just like you were directing the whole poem at the same time. The whole like Mr. Age, I already know how I feel about his poetry. He already know. He already know. Y'all make sure
Appreciate it.
y'all go
Thank you.
follow him. You're welcome.
Wow. So AJ, I got a question for you. I got to bring you back over here. I got to ask you a question. So that love, what is it about love that people need to really understand when you write about love? What is the message that you want people to take away and really digest?
Well, I want people to understand that we keep forgetting. We keep forgetting that every beginning relationship was the best one you told all your friends it was. It really was. Somewhere we lost ourselves and missed because we think that love should work on its own when it's our duty to work love. Sometimes we don't put in the work necessary, so when it fails, we want to write about the failure, but not about the work we didn't put in.
Wow. And that's why a lot of relationships probably don't last, because they don't consider the good. They always focus on the bad. Is that correct?
No, they think it's gonna stay where it is, like it just got there on its own.
Yeah. Woo. So are love poems as effective as love songs?
I think love poems are, simply because I've seen people write love songs off of love poems.
Mm. Wow. What you say about that, Enamel? What you think about what he said?
Listen, there were so many intricate scenes and so much vivid imagery. That's not a word. Imagery And I'm on this ride with them, and I forget that we were talking about love for a second because it was so effortless, right? So I think that everything that he says and he described it for himself has definitely captivated and has been captivated and captured in his writing and in the way it make you feel. Cause I got
Ooh,
lost in that poem. It was like a sunny Paris day.
wow. Wow.
That's what I
So,
felt.
Lene, how about you? How about you?
I was somewhere chilling.
I agree. I agree. It was a whole journey with that whole poem. It was a whole journey. That's why I said it
So,
was different genres, and it was like fantasy. It was chemistry. It was all types of things in that poem. It was a whole experience.
Mhm. It was
so,
a
so
whole experience.
my
Whew.
question, AJ, is do you think the men respond the same way, or is that just a woman thing what I'm hearing? All of us being female, do the males get the message just as strong?
Now, I think men get it better
Mm,
because men see a lot of times you think men are being silent, they're not being silent. A lot of men think that they understand in totality. Everything is going on. Like, if I know where you're coming from, I can't say this because you won't know where it's coming from. So if I know where you're coming from, where this is coming from, you won't see it because there's so many things around that we don't allow other people to experience because I see the way you were affected by something that happened the other day. And this is so much
Mm.
greater than that.
Yeah.
So
wow.
if I
Yeah.
reveal this to you, you think it's me, but no, I'm just trying to get see. The truth is so hard because I have a quote say the truth is often hard to swallow no matter what you chase it with. It still tastes like truth, but some
Mm,
people still can't handle the truth.
Mm-hmm.
mm, mm. Wow. Man. Okay, we're gonna try to go to the next one, Lene. And so what you want enamored to do after that?
Right.
Oh, I
Cause
want Enamored to do what Enamored does. Dash. She knows exactly what to do. She was born with the assignment. Y'all brace for impact because yeah, it's gonna be constant poetic blows tonight with these two poets. So I ain't gotta say much because she already know. Come on up, Enamored Ink.
Sucky. Okay, you got
listen. How y'all doing?
okay. She said, do what you do.
Since we all settled in, right? We're settled in for some beautiful poetry about however you feel this moves you. She gives me pieces of her. Even when I see she's not at peace, take this heart in pieces, mending her pieces because I want to. To be humbly honest, I want you at peace in these pieces, and that's what penetrates me. Honestly, in the past, I was attracted to someone's potential, seeing a need and providing it without permission, going the distance because I'm passionate about another person's healing path. I want to make sure I don't see a wounded bird in you. Speaking in truth, I've been wounded too. No promises of prominence, just peace in pieces. Have I mentioned how your presence promotes me to smile politely? And it's pretty clear what I see in your eyes. You're unable to hide. I recognize your heart's yearning and the desire to just be, spreading the healing you found to your community. And there's so much love written in your face. And you give me motivation to keep pace, running for a piece of that piece to give to others. I want to partner with you. Collaborate on coloring our hearts in the nude, Patti LaBelle and the Pips. To be honest, I don't want to project unless you and I are the object of the project. See why? Projecting unity. Imagine our union projecting purpose. It's God's mission. I envision making it to the promised land with you by my side. I want to know where your thoughts reside and what your heart desires. Is it a closer walk with him or within or both? Maybe, just maybe, it's insanity. Poetically driven to propose in prose. Take your time to process. No apples, only peach trees in paradise, and I pray for your peace in these pieces. Like the woman in Proverbs, I give praise to the Most High for the present, gift wrapped in power and prepared to piece this puzzle together with protection. She's a poet. My heart, I pour it liberally, spreading my essence across her palette, painted tastefully, poetic in pose, palm seed, palm oil. My intentions are pure. Puppy posing just for you to view. Potion number 9, ocean deep waves, high sea. I wonder what your self care looks like. It's mine. Ain't that put together, but I'm working on something new. My heart's been in park, yet I'm driven daily. Prophetically passing prolific, a public figure. I wonder what I do on my off days. Do I prioritize privacy, love personified? Where do my priorities lie? What is my profession and what do I do for play? Pardon my perusing. I'm just pursuing the chance to get to know you. Given the opportunity, I'd press my ear to your chest and listen to the pitter patter of our proximity. That just means I want to be close enough to probe your pupils, proving there's a portion of pizzazz. Let me look at every particle of your being without being objectified. I want to know about your past and if your future will be parallel to mine. See, I'm working on the courage to put what's written on this page on your mind. With patience, I'll await your reply. Perspiring as I pretend that my heartstrings don't preside with you answering. I am enamored ink.
Wow. 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 What you tell her to do that? So Lene, check this out. As I was listening to her, right, I was going and I was saying, do I said, well, no, they didn't give it to us too much. But at some point, I know I might have to pull out my sign at some point. And let me show you what I mean when I say I could pull out my sign, because I said, Lord, they might have us to the point where I just might have to. I might have to throw my sign up right here and say,
Oh, Lord.
okay. I said, because y'all might not be ready. Y'all might not be ready. So just in case, I got my little sign. I got it here. If I need to,
I was like, oh,
if,
Lord.
if I need to, I can do it if I need to. Okay. So it's there. It's ready if I need to. We can put it there. We can put it, we could have it ready on the side if we need to. At any time we can throw it up there. All right. So
We got
just
it
be
on
ready.
deck.
Use your imagination. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. So I'm gonna
I
leave it
don't even know
back
what was.
there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're definitely and just to give a shout out to that poem, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
And to the comments, like Essence said, the alliteration. Good God. I was trying to replay the words as you were saying them in my head. I'm like, I know I would have fumbled by now. I know for a fact. But how you gave that poem and the passion you heard behind it, it was like listening to you converse with the soon to be of whoever that is, and then also letting them see you at the same time of what you're asking them. This is what I offer. So I'm showing you in my mind of what's going on and what you also can indulge in if you participate in those things too. And if you would like to, we can do this together. So like I love that poem, how you did that. That was dope.
Yes. Now, AJ, I want to hear your perspective as a man. What you think? What you think, brother? What you think?
I like the interchanging of humans with fruit, humans with trees, humans with nature, on how we both grow, and that's where I took it when she saw peaches and apples. How we both grow in what we think is sweet, what we think is good for us. We grow in that, and I think that was why it was just peaches, no apples, none. Peaches are sweet. Peaches are juicy. Peaches are all the things we think love should be, our relationship should be.
Mm. There you have it. What you think about that, and how you like that perception of your poetry?
Listen, however things resonate with the person, that is how they resonate with the person. And I accept all resignations, right?
Wow. Wow.
I will say For me, I also saw myself speaking to myself in this piece.
Mm,
It wasn't necessarily about an external love, as I recognized myself in this piece and
mm.
hearing it to myself. Like if I was to record it and play it back, I would be able to tell myself these things. And I came to that stage with this piece.
Wow, that's
This
deep.
is
That's really deep.
definitely self-reflective, and yeah, an inward turn of love.
So let me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask each one of y'all before Lene brings up the next poem for each of you to do. How much do you all do that? How many times do you write a poem? And have you ever had a time that you wrote a poem that wasn't directed at you, but after you wrote it, then it spoke to you? So initially when you wrote the poem, it wasn't for you, but afterwards it was you.
Mhm.
Does that happen?
I can say that for me, this poem was one of those kind of poems where initially it was not for me, but it was speaking for me. It
Mm,
was telling me the things that I needed to know and I needed to hear in order to, ascend or, accept that level of comfort in myself. Um, yeah, so, but yes, I think that it can happen. That was one of the ones that changed for me, but majority of my writing is directly me.
wow. How about you,
Mm.
AJ?
Well, me, I think during COVID, somebody asked me. They said, "Well, oh, you that poet that write out on black poems." And when he said it, I'm like, I do have some black poems, but I have some other poems. So, but what he said, so what do you think? I said, well, I told him, I said, well, me, I believe I'm God's echo.
Mm.
I said, but I have human hands, so I can't take dictation fast enough to get the whole poem. So some of the poems are right are incomplete. So you might have to go talk to God to get the rest.
Mm.
So
Ooh.
I feel like I'm God's messenger, and there's no way for me to be Ezekiel without eating the scroll first.
Ooh.
Mm. This is a whole poem right here.
Oh, oh, Lene.
Because if you
That's a
notice,
What?
he
whole.
didn't tell Ezekiel to deliver the message. He said, eat the message.
Oh, eat.
Ah,
They
my
eat,
God,
eat, eat.
today.
Come on.
So when the message comes from the belly of your soul, it sounds different than coming through your throat.
Ooh, better watch y'all put
Yeah,
me
I what he said. I ain't doing nothing after that.
in today.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, she said, "I'm God's echo," and with human hands. What? Yeah,
Wow,
I
wow,
agree.
wow.
I agree.
I digress.
So had that ever happened to you where you wrote something and the purpose was not that you were speaking your heart or writing it, because you were getting your point across, but afterwards, when you began to do the poem, read the poem, or hear the poem, you realize this is me.
But I think
That's
everything I
definitely
write
happened to
comes
me.
to me, for me. Everything I write comes for me, not from me.
Mm, mm,
Exactly.
So
wow.
if it
Mhm.
came from me, I would think of the originator.
Yeah,
But if it
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
came for me, I'm just the interpreter.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I
Yes.
got you.
Mm.
Okay. Oof. Okay, Lene. So what you want them to do next?
Well, I want y'all to get ready. Put your hands up right there, right there. A round of applause, first of all, for that first round, because that was deep. So we're gonna keep this rotating. We're gonna bring up Mr. AJ Houston for another round of some poetry. Y'all get ready.
All right, Mr. AJ,
Okay,
what you got? Tell us a little bit about what you are about to do and what we can expect from this. And a lot of times, sometimes when we go to a show or when we go to an open mic, we might be feeling some kind of way. So, what is this poem you're about to do going to do for us?
okay. So I have a book. It's called The Lost Book of Black.
Yes.
It's 724 pages of poetry and essays and information and data. But I think every poem I write is a love poem, but sometimes it has a bit of America in it. Because see, I think America loves us because we built it, but they don't know how to deal with black.
All right, so go ahead. You have the
So, so this is a love poem, but not you'll see. It's called The Difference Between Love and Love. That's the only way I can explain it.
mm, 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 mm.
It says, heard a love song yesterday. You know, the really slow kind. You can dance to all romantic, the kind you hold a loved one close to your heart. But this one picked sides, chose colors, flew a different flag, sounded so much like yesterday. I could hear trees crying in the rhetoric. The cross was still smoldering, has yet to turn to ash, smelled of Old South, pranced around like little pickaninnies with ponytails. Sounded monumental. The sandstone cast had yet to harden on the latest newly hero trader. The Supreme Court's outdated amendment held expensive words in balance. The harmony would hold the average human captive. Heard a love song yesterday. Had nothing to do with love. Singing about all these days, shots ring out, not at mass murderers that killed children in elementary schools, or young white boys that drove over 200 miles to a grocery store to murder black folk, or the young white man that celebrated the 4th of July. Like it's 1776 all over again from the top of buildings with unnecessary bloodshed. Heard a love song the other day. This one played like the usual American love songs do at a traffic stop. Not a stop per se. This time he ran wasn't the color of peaceful arrest, not the kind officers tend to take for dinner after a massacre in a church. He was black like me, fleet of foot. They couldn't catch me if they tried. So again, shots rang out. Did you know? A posse of 8 officers ambushed Bonnie and Clyde, landed 50 rounds each. The lawmen were celebrated for a job well done when shots rang out at this traffic stop. As melodic as the verses were, the emotions were out of context. It went something like, if you loved me, you would march. Take up arms, believe me without hesitation. You would stop the count, stop the steal. For you know, as I do, unless they count all the votes. No, as you know, as I do, I can't lose unless they counted all the votes. And if you know, as I do, all the votes should never be counted. Heard a love song just yesterday about voting, about recounting votes for a 4th time, about which votes should count, which zip codes should not. As the melody played, there was a verse about no knocks, about Kenny and Brianna, how he had already purchased rings, how hours after the shooting, officers left all the paperwork blank. Some lives would take more time to ink than others. It's easy to cry to a song harmonizing this much pain. The posse of officers reminiscent of Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow released more rounds into an unarmed black than they did in 1934, chasing down a couple whose faces were planted on wanted posters running from the law. Well-known figures from justice heard a love song just yesterday. It didn't include all the names, but should have.
Use my language because I'm around elders and
This
there's
book
kids are
right
watching
here,
the show, but damn.
this book right here, we have. Just give me 1 second. I want to pull that up. Give me a second,
Mm, mm, mm,
and
mm, mm.
I want to do this right here. AJ, talk to us. Talk to us about this book. Talk to us about how we can get this book, where we can get this book, and how did you come up with the Lost Book of Black and the whole concept behind it?
Well, see, I have a trilogy. The first book was the Black Book of Black. And I wrote it really by accident because I was working on this other book with no titles and all these poems and love poems and all nice. And I had this idea of writing a poem. The title of the poem was This Is What Happens When You Bootleg Freedom.
Mm.
And I was like, this poem can't go into this white book with all these nice poems. So once I began working on that, I don't know if you know as a purpose-driven person who you are. Whenever you find your purpose will demand you participate in it. It will show up every time you don't want it to. It will show up at midnight, in the mornings, at 3, at 5, at 6. You'll be writing things you didn't know. So after I wrote that poem, This is What Happens When You Bootleg Freedom, I started writing poems when my ancestors come and all these things. And they were black poems of black thought. So I had to start researching all the history I thought I knew and found out I didn't. So each one of the black books is complete history of us in total context, in poems and essays and in actual literary writings. And, because I know we don't know what our history is. Every day we're finding something new.
Mm.
So I had to discover for me the things that I thought I knew that I didn't know and write it down. So people that thought they knew what I didn't know, when I found out what I knew, I would write it down and we would all know the same shit.
Mm. Wow.
My God.
And how can they get the book?
Well, I'm saying you can order from me, or you can order. I do have let's see, I have some copies here in Dallas. So, but if you want a copy, you can just DM me. We'll talk. We'll work something out. Just DM me. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm AJ Word Artist, and I have a
Mhm.
show every day. Today was episode 1197, and I'm 3 episodes away from 1200.
Wow. And how long has it taken? 1,200 days straight?
Yeah, 1200 days straight. Started December 15th, 2021.
Wow.
So I haven't missed a day since the show started. So I've been
Wow.
every day.
That's dedication. That's commitment. That's determination. What are you finding that you have gotten from doing this consistently for all these days nonstop?
Well, I find that it teaches me more about myself and about the duty of the writer. It teaches me the more about purpose, because the more you intrinsically involve yourself in your purpose, all the things around you will fall apart. Purpose demands opposition.
Wow.
Purpose demands something to show up that's going to stop you from finding your purpose or walking. If you're doing nothing, nothing happens.
Yes.
If you're doing
Wow.
nothing, nothing happens. But as soon as you find your purpose, everything happens. And
Mm.
everything has to happen, because nobody's going to believe that you did this, without conflict, without any episodes, without boulders falling your way or mountains dropping in the street, without cave-ins and drop-ins, without death in your family, without all these things going on. What matters most is somebody's watching you to see when you don't show up, or see how
Wow.
often you do, or see how you walk through these storms, or how these storms walk through you, or how you're in the storm holding hands, skipping down the street, or however you want them to see it. You better act like somebody's watching you.
Better act like it. Wow. Amazing. Enamored. I'm coming to you right now, honey. What do you think about what he just said about that book? Have you seen that book? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
I apologize.
No problem.
I was saying no, I have not seen that book or read that book. So I'm not sure, and I do not want to make a comment on something I'm not sure about.
What is this? How does it intrigue you listening to him describe it like that, being a poet and hearing the whole mission?
I think that it would be something that I would want to look into, but I will tell you this, even as a writer, for me, reading has not been my forte. To sit with a piece of literature and actually go through it is really, really hard to explain. But I think that it was something that I would like to look into.
No, I think that's actually very good. That's very good that you said that, because words are perceived by hearing them or reading them two different ways. And so this is why spoken word and poetry is so good. And so he went a step further to write, and some people may never read. So the word is good. So I think that was good that you said that, because it's important, and that even speaks to the importance of what y'all do. You
And
know?
you know what? I want to say something else, because I almost felt a little bit of shame behind that fact of reading being difficult for me. So like my throat chakra is being cleared at the moment right now. That is actually healing for me to actually say, um,
Mm, wow.
as a poet, as
Yes.
a writer,
Yes.
as someone that does all the things that I do, right?
Hmm.
The amount of work that I've had to do to learn how to learn, it takes up a lot of energy and brain space. And so reading for me is very, very difficult, because I'm a little dyslexic, is what I've been diagnosed as. But also there's a like a comprehension type of delay as well for me. So whereas someone might read a chapter a day or something like that, I would probably need a week.
Mm.
Yeah.
But you feel good about that, don't you?
Whew,
Don't you
boy, I'm
feel
breathing
shame?
now.
Lene, what do you want to say to her? What do you want to
I
say to her,
gotta breathe.
Lene?
I'm about to cry. Lord have mercy, Jesus.
What do you want to say to her, Lene?
Oh,
Whew.
Now, I
oh,
want
just keep going because we talked about this and she knows. She knows she's making a lot of breakthroughs and she's doing a lot of changes and she's growing. So that's an accomplishment, and I'm glad we were able to express that and um to experience that with her right now. And
yes,
just
yes,
keep releasing it, keep exhaling, keep telling people because it's a true fact. Like it's hard to everybody thinks that you just start off reading books and you start writing books. That's not the case. I also struggle with that too. Like I can start a book and then halfway through it, and then my thing is the interest of it, and it's not the fact of the person or the author. It's my because I have ADHD. That's what they say,
Yes.
diagnosed ADHD and anxiety. So sometimes I'm not able to finish it, but I want the knowledge, but I never want to be discredited as an author or as a poet because I don't have the same capacity or same type of learning experiences or skills as other people. So I definitely get that. I definitely get that.
Thank you, my Leo.
Oh my goodness! Now you gotta
I got you,
share,
girl. I got you.
share, and comment. Let me tell you something. What you ladies are talking about right now is what this is all about
I
because
am literally
people suppress so
shaking right
much.
now.
People
All right.
suppress, but you feel good because you just broke through something by saying it out loud,
Oh
and that's
God.
the first step. And you're not alone. You're not alone. You
Listen, let me tell you, I learned there some practice said sleep with the books under your pillow. Listen, I got a book under my pillow I've been sleeping on for about a week now. I don't know if I absorbed anything, but when I crack it open, I'll see.
and it's okay if it takes you a week and it takes somebody else less time. That's fine. That's still progress for you. And the same thing with you, Lene. So
Mhm.
that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that because that's going to help someone. That's going to help somebody to know they are not alone. And that's why we say it's about life experiences and sharing. And the fact that you still write, is beautiful. So I love it. I love it.
You
And
just gave me a line. Still I rise, right?
okay,
Because
okay.
I'm a whole college
Mm,
student. I'm getting ready to graduate this
damn.
semester.
Yeah.
So I had to learn some type of way to get myself back into being able to learn so that I can get through this degree program. And I've been doing it. So
Good for you. So Lene, what you want to say to her before she comes up and do her next piece?
So before I address you, E, there was two lines that I heard Mr. AJ say in his poems that I wanted to address. The
Okay.
first one was 4th of July. They celebrate the 4th of July, not 4th of July, 4th
Wow.
of July. The what? What? And then there was a line he said vote for and all the votes. I think he's and just not verbatim, but I need all the votes for me to get voted in. And then it said all the votes should never be we gotta play it back. When you watch this, play it back. That wordplay was vicious. I just wanted to address that first. And second off, to address you already know. All right. You got this. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep if you gotta sleep on with 2 books under your pillow, do what you gotta do. Nobody's judging, nobody's here to judge. And if they judge and they just because they don't know. So keep doing what you're doing. All right. Take steps, baby steps, and you got it. One word at a time.
Wow. And when AJ comes, and like I said, he had a death in the family, so he popped out for a minute. But we're definitely going to get him to address that fourth of the lie, but you said, and the other one when he comes back. So tell us what you would like Enamored to do now.
I want to narrow to keep it going. Keep the fire burning. Keep with the poetry and keep them learning. Break them bars, break them chains, and let's keep this poetry thing going. All right.
All right, there she has it.
and
Okay.
I came in my revolutionary attire. Okay. I came in that attire. Um
And
okay. Now this poem is actually a prayer.
Okay.
Um and I really haven't even titled it. all so much, a mother's prayer, or I'm thinking of I was a praying grandmother,
Mm.
or I am a praying grandmother. Uh, and maybe trigger warning. It's going to get emotional for me, uh, because this prayer is specifically about my seed, my offspring, my flesh, my blood, my bone.
Mm.
I am not depressed. I am a mother pressed by the hands of stress, carried by the storms brewing in my chest, crying myself to sleep just to rest. God, I've been blessed with the chance to be present for what's next. I have labored with grace, feet burned in pace, these tears staining my face, a testament to your abounding grace. See, faith diligently running in place, yet progressing towards my fate. I am destined to be great, expressing my gratitude to you, the Most High, for my heart's state, for the peace precedes my lessons. No longer bound by the enemy's weapons, I'm stepping into God's kingdom with discernment and wisdom, and I can feel my heart ache. Yet I'm prepared to partake in the positioning of prayer, recognizing I'm in the middle of it being answered. Lord, continue to provide me strength as I seek wise counsel for every battle. Lord, prepare them, for this is war. And it isn't for the weak spiritually, mentally, physically. Mend me. God, help me to defeat all the odds. Even in your silence, I'm able to hear your breath. I've waited to release this off my chest, knowing full well your will is best. See, I come to you, God, knee bent and head bowed, to release my son from the foul, close up the mouths of his enemies and bind them. Cast them in to the fiery seas openly. I rebuke the snare set at his feet. He doesn't deserve to be lost to wickedness. Place his burdens on me. Take me, take me, take me. Leave him be. Set my son free. We both have sacrificed in the name of adversity. I take his place on the cross willingly, no complaints. Yet I am asking for you to please defeat his adversary. I forgot to make this life about him, yet selfishly made it about me, my guilt, my shame, my lame excuses for taming his lion-hearted dreams. I forgot to make this about his healing and not about my failure to teach it, to understand. I understand that my son, I can't rush the truth of what I knew of your acceptance, of your perception. Our views have been obscured by pain, relating in a way only trauma could bond us, bound by the overwhelming rush of feeling on autopilot, just to not feel just to not feel it. Your heart cried out for a mother who could feel it. Son, my heart wasn't present. I'm just starting to feel it. But first, I had to heal it and at least deal with the vast bleeding of my soul's pursuit for meaning. It's been you all along who had to be strong in a world full of wrongs. You're right. And I understand why you don't want to do this, why you don't want to view this attachment to a wound your mother created from her womb, tethered by an umbilical. So things are about to get biblical. The enemy cannot have you. I've watched you cover your pain with a smile that's not real, and it breaks my heart to know the deal you were dealt, how real never felt, happy, whole, a healing. You told me so many times that you were feeling thoughts of being unalive. I've watched you fight back tears, fighting through the years to survive the nightmares of your dreams. That it was me who passed down these things, that my hands hurt you, so trust is gone. You told me that you were afraid, which made you feel alone in a home in which your heart couldn't grow, and my shame wouldn't allow me to acknowledge it. I was wrong to silence it, to silence your potential. Though I never wanted to, you won't understand till you understand what we refuse to feel. We won't heal, and for years I forgot my pain was real. Repeating a slave mentality, never sparing the broad. I'm praying to God to take care of my son, to save my son, to return my son the way he returns the sun after night, brighten his smile he hasn't used in a while. And for a second, I saw it when I was with him, could feel the confliction of him believing in the evil talk to him. God, please help him sooner rather than later. Heal his mind, God. Give him spontaneous release, increase his understanding, work on his heart, help him to turn away from the dark. I know this was a part of my job and I accept full responsibility because most of, most, if not all of the damage heal his mind, God. Give him spontaneous release. Increase his understanding. Work on his heart. Help him to turn away from the dark. I know this was a part of my job and I accept full responsibility. I caused most, if not all, of the damage, and I'm here to take accountability. If you'd continue to let me soften his heart, God, so he'd let me. I will not abandon him again. And then at the end, I know your strategy will mend the brokenness within generations of broken men. I refuse to let go of him, to let this be another child of God, stripped of living and thriving in your promise of peace. I give my sincerest gratitude for what you're already done and for what you're about to do. Dear God, I pray this to you in your precious name. So it's finished. Ashe and amen.
Wow. You did it. You did it. You did it. Now, before we breathe.
Yeah, we gotta take a minute. Let her release that out. Take a minute.
Breathe. AJ, what you think? I want to hear your perspective as a man representing the man. She said that may be a trigger for her. That was a challenge. I don't know if you heard some of the stuff. I know you had to pop out, but what you think about what you just heard?
No, I was listening. Well, my thing is, what I want poets to know is that uh, I really don't believe in triggers. I think something kicks over the bucket of our emotions, like we usually kick down the can of our proverbial mind, like it doesn't matter. But when we write something that matters, we think people don't notice that it matters. But when you write you, every time it matters.
Mm.
It's just that sometimes we put a little bit more personal. We put our children in it, or our mother in it, or somebody else that they can see the way we looking in the mirror at ourselves, write this piece. So that's the vulnerable part, but it doesn't matter. They're looking in the same mirror you're looking in. They feel the same thing you feel. See, you're the bus driver giving us a tour of the back of your heart. So when we get to the front, we're just trying to get out, and sometimes we can't.
Wow, definitely, Lene.
I felt like that poem was, you know how in those movies you see like the parent will send something off to the child, like when they turn 18, like the child will get a letter says from mom, read when you're this age or whatever. I felt like that right there was exactly that. You sent that letter to your child, and also you sent the letter with God. It wasn't you just sent the letter to the child, you sent it with God, and everything you wanted to say and everything you wanted them to know, and even stuff that you are learning through this process. You're telling them, you're being fully transparent with them, fully transparent. um and I really pray that that letter, that prayer, every time you read it, it gives you more and more peace. It gives you more and more, even if there are tears coming down. It's tears of healing. It's tears of you know, you got through this. Look at what you wrote some time ago and look at where you are now. So definitely take this time to congratulate yourself for speaking your truth, as well as congratulating yourself for saying, look, I got past this healing point. I got more to come, and I've gotten past this, so I can get past more.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. And I agree. And you know what came out of that? You know, you have so much in you. And I noticed something here. I noticed this right here. I think this is a good time to bring this up. From that came this right here. You have so much in you that now you have compassionate conversations, a compassionate conversation podcast that you created on Sundays. So not only are you putting it on paper, but now you are helping people to get it out of them. So you obviously it's working for you. So you're now using that to help others. So I don't want you to think for a moment that you're not evolving, because you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I say one thing?
Yes, sir.
Of course.
See, sometimes we don't write poems, we write prayers.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's
yeah, she
hard to
said
tell
that.
the difference.
Mhm.
I said it was a prayer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard to tell the difference, but the thing is they're both the same thing.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
That's why I say
Definitely.
sometimes a pen conversation. You know, I always ask people. I say, how's your pen relationship going?
Pen relationship. Come on now.
I like that.
AJ, pen relationship.
Mm-hmm. Relationship.
Now, AJ, wow. And I'm gonna come back to you, Enamel Inc., and give you a moment to get yourself together. But Lene had a question and a comment to you. I don't know if you heard what she said. Lene, tell her what you said about his poem.
Let me pull out this paper real quick because I had to go right down what he said. First of all, when you had there was again many, many, many lines in your poem, but when you said "Fourth of you lie," fourth, I don't know if y'all caught that, but that is a
Yeah.
bar. Fourth
Yes.
of you lie, and then there was one line you said something before this one, but it said all the votes should never be counted. But there was a line you said before that kind of
Oh,
stilled it together. But
it says, if you know as I do, I can't lose unless all the votes are counted. And as you know, if I do, all the votes should never be counted.
Mm.
Wow.
I threw my pen across the floor. I don't know if you know, but I'm telling you now, I threw my pen across the floor. I did.
Yeah. So it's working. It's working. What you're doing is thought provoking, AJ, and it's getting people to think about what they're doing. So I just wanted to make sure you had that moment, and I wanted to give you a moment in Ink, but I'm coming back to you. I'm not letting you slide just yet. So I want to get back to you with your with your book, and I want to give you the opportunity to, not the book, but what you're doing here. Hold on one second. I want to get back to what you're doing here and allow you to tell us what this is that you're doing on these days with this. Tell us about these conversations and what is it that you hope to get, and what do you want the people to get from this, and tell us, is it every week? Just give us a little bit of history about this.
Okay. Okay. Of course. I did have one comment about the poem that I just did, the
Uh-huh.
prayer that I just read. Uh, this is actually the 1 year anniversary.
Mm.
Last week was the 1 year anniversary of the beginning of that. Um,
Wow.
and so I do feel completely full circle from where I was this same time last year to now.
Wow.
But yeah, so that's just a little sidebar. Um, Now, okay, so my podcast, right? It's called Compassionate Conversations, right? Compassionate Conversations with your host, me, Chantel. Um, I was messaging a friend, right? This is how it was birthed. I was messaging a friend and I asked her how she was. This is a new acquaintance. We're trying to build, kind of friendship and things like that. But my friends know that when I ask them how they are, that we take at least 20 minutes to talk about how we are. You know,
Wow.
how we're feeling mentally,
Wow.
emotionally, spiritually. And Lene can attest to this. We do a spirit check-in before we get into anything else when we're talking to each other. No matter what organization I'm in, no matter what group I'm in, even school assignments when I'm paired with groups, this is my intention, right? It's always the intention. Um, to make
So
sure
this is
that,
not you as a poet doing this. This is you as the human being doing this compassionate
yes, this is
conversation.
definitely my human capacity
Okay.
for people, my
Okay.
human capacity for compassion and just people, period. And
Okay.
so, like I said, I had the conversation. I was having a conversation. I asked her how she was, and she said that she was too authentic to give me some kind of cliche answer. And I said, well, I know, I really want to know. And so I rephrased my question and I said, would you like to express yourself to me in vulnerability and be held in a safe space in a compassionate conversation?
Wow.
And she was just like, that is such a warm question.
Wow.
Yes. And so I had been having this idea, it had been rotating and rotating and rotating. I just didn't know how to package it. I know that I do this sort of thing with people all the time, even with neighbors and things like that. We will sit and we'll have a conversation where I just help them pretty much unveil themselves to
Okay.
themselves, right? I'm just a mirror. I'm a reflection.
Okay.
But you get to do it in safe space. You get to do it in a space where there is no judgment, where we
Okay.
are going to get down to the nitty gritty, where we are going to unearth things. Just like, I cannot be that type of poet and expect less from the people that surround me.
Wow. I
And
love it.
so anything that I put out or that I put forth is going to come from an authentic and genuine space. And that's what I wanted it to be. And we hold those kind of conversations, and I post snippets and stuff like that of it
Now, do
on.
you get a lot of poets to respond, or do you get just regular people? Because Ben, you belong to a poetry community, so I just felt like that was a great outlet for those who maybe don't acknowledge their own feelings. That was a great way for them to do it. So I just wanted to say that was really cool. I stumbled onto it Sunday
Mhm.
and I saw it and I said, oh, there she go. And I saw another side of you. And so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to
It's
give you time to talk about that for a moment and
and it's
advertise that.
open to everyone as well. Like, it's open to everyone. My target is the people, you know, whoever wants to come, come through. So yeah.
Okay. So Lene, we have had some powerful poems to really get us to using our thinking cap and feeling different emotions. And so I know you're up to something. What you got next? I know you done had them do those.
So we about to get into the third round, y'all. We about to get into the third round. We have poets, these two poets here that taught us about love. They taught us about the truth. They taught us about the raw truth, politically, spiritually. So we're gonna get into this third round, and they're gonna really end it off on what they want y'all to know about them as poets, their poetry, and their culture of this unspoken word. So definitely check this out. We're about to go back into Mr. AJ Houston.
So
Okay.
this right here is one that's supposed to really let us know a little bit about who they are and what they do. And this right here is the one. This is the one. I mean, if you haven't figured it out yet, you really gonna know after you hear this. If you just
Okay.
meet
Mhm.
it the first time.
so,
All right.
so check it out. My mother passed away in 2023, so I was home. My baby sister passed away recently, so I was home. But I've been writing a poem for my mother. I was writing a poem for her that was supposed to be an epic poem. So in the process, I finished the poem for my best friend that passed away April 1st, 2020. So that's why I redid the book. That's why the book is what it is. But this poem is one of the poems that led me to know that this isn't the one, but this was going to be the one beginning the book for my mother. It's called Lately. Lately, I've been fumbling messages heaven sends me to scribe. These hands and fingers consistently test the viability of sound. The system of delivery differs. Some days it rains just outside my window. Often birds sit on branches mocking melodies my memories have failed to master. Taking dictation from clouds requires a different type of translation. Knowing my family speaks the language of sky. It's been a year. Actually, more than the 365 days we were told makes a full solar return. These knees are worn to the tendons, to the bone. Caps could be on backwards from praying, begging heaven for grace, for the power to keep moving. Lately, her laughter has been flooding the caverns of my mind, echoing through the mountains and the valleys of my soul. Been missing her like she left just yesterday. As if tomorrow's come already with this burden of belief, I must believe I stand here naked, 3 feet deep in a 6-foot hole, unable to pronounce the name carved on this rock. At least it ain't mine. Don't do time no more. Not its passings or standings when still. Got time trapped in the gut of this poem. Sometimes can't stomach the hurt, attempting to master this blend of blood, ink, and sound. Lately, I've been catching up with catching up, leaving small pieces of me on pages in books, framed in colorless moving pictures. There are stages where my shadows are still performing verses my tongue was forced to spit. Must have misplaced myself more than I care to remember. Keep finding me on the rungless ladder trying to up. When all America got to offer black men is down. This system sick syndrome of gifting black bodies in boxes without a bow has to cease. Look at the frequency. Parents in our communities are forced to bury their seeds. It was never meant to be this way. Lately, my feet have been pounding dirt at the crossroads of better and yesterday. Pick a direction. You must be made aware yesterday is not a choice available. Ain't no soul-saving songs here, no guitar to play. Look at the flowers planted. This ain't that kind of cross on these roads. No pianos to lullaby until your restful state. Ain't no safe nowhere no more. Flowers are memory markers. Somebody's loved one had their breath taken on this spot. Lately, I've been penning petitions for pens to pen this now, just as I see it. Society's been blindfolded too long. Can't see the truth through storm clouds of lies. Got to pin this now into a bundle of forevers we can all hold for a time. At least as long as these fingers stay attached. As long as these hands could form a fist. You don't know what fighting is until you're almost out of breath. Until muscles twist your body into spasms of quit. Been penning poems perfect for occasions such as this. Did I explain in a language you can comprehend? Ain't no safe here for you, for me, for them, for us. Ain't no safe unless you brought it with you. And even then, that safe isn't comfortable in your present surroundings. Lately, I've been finding broken everywhere I look. Relationships, friendships, marriages, families. It ain't easy keeping myself intact. Forcing all this ink to stay where I put it. Keep finding broken in the most secure of locations. Used to not be this way. Shh, shh, shh. Hold up, listen. My mama's watching me do this. Share these scriptures and verses, present these lessons I ain't even learned yet. Her laughter has been flooding the caverns of my mind, echoing through the mountains and the valleys of my soul. Been missing her like she left us yesterday.
I just had to let that sit for a moment. Like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something now. I hadn't been doing too much, but I gotta tell you this because I'm not the poet here. Let me tell you something. Now I got my pen that time, Lene. And I'm telling you right now, AJ, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. You said you said so many things that caught me. When you said lately I've been catching up with catching up. I said, so many times we go on with life and we have to, we have to go on with day-to-day things. But when you said catching up with catching up, I went, wow. When you said the sentence and you said I misplaced myself, I went, wow. It was so many wow moments for me. When you said pick a direction, you said yesterday is not a choice. I said, oh my goodness. Then when you said the muscles turn into spasms of quit, how many times people just want to quit? And I was like, man, that's deep. But when you said lately, I've been finding broken everywhere. I said, oh my goodness. You. My. Lene, talk to me. Talk to me.
That that line too, that lately I've been finding broken everywhere. And when you said this ain't that kind of cross on these roads, what? What? It was
Woo!
bar after bar. Like for me, I felt like I would have to have my hand on quick mode to keep up with all the lines you were saying. But and then when you said it ain't safe for you, for me, for none of us, it ain't safe. And how you gave the description of grief,
Mm.
it
Woo!
was it was intense. It was intense from when you said you feel it in your knees. I kid you not. You can ask Wilma. I literally said I feel that in my knees right now. I was like, oh my gosh, my knees felt cold. So
Whoa.
when you gave the descriptions not only physically but emotionally, and then how it feels to interact with other people feeling that emotion, it gave the whole picture and it gave the whole master picture of what you're going through. That was beautiful.
I
Beautiful.
appreciate it.
Enamored. Talk to me.
Yes, like it was a snapshot of like uh, a snapshot of you moving through your time in life or wherever you were when that moment in time happened, when she did pass and she transcended. But now, and then at the very end, remembered her just like yesterday. It was going through that entire description of every single decision that you've made, every single turn that you've taken, every single relationship. It took stock of the entire existence from the time that she first held you, from the time that you last held her, and it was like such a beautiful review. Um, yes, that's it. And I would love
Wow.
to just hear how your mind works.
Woo!
Appreciate it.
AJ, what you have to say after hearing there was three interpretations?
I appreciate it, man. I'm just really learning how to hold my pen properly. So
Mm,
This guy,
mm, mm.
this guy, that's
Woo! On that,
listen.
man, I'm trying to
He
tell
probably went home right because how much he be getting out of there like that.
you. Come on, Lene. Oh my goodness. I know you about to set it off. I know you about to send her in there. You got
Oh
that
my goodness.
oh
I told y'all, for everybody watching that, we'll be watching and watch later whenever you watch this.
and listening.
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself for a time of feeling emotions and knowledge and learning. Okay. This
Mm,
is what this is about. This is different. You have different genres, different characteristics, different poetic perspectives from each person that comes up on this show. And we want to acknowledge that. We want to love up on that because that's every piece of poetry that comes into the bigger picture is us. This is a community here.
Yeah.
So I really want to thank everybody for just both of y'all for coming out and showing out. That whew, all right.
yeah. And for the
Go ahead,
now
Miss Crystal. Go ahead.
it's on you, girl.
Yeah, go ahead, girl.
Oh
Finish
Lord.
it off. Finish them.
So I'm a finisher, right? So I was challenged. Well, I mean, this is a writing prompt, so I'm gonna read the poem that I did from this writing prompt, which is I've been writing these poems. Um, I've been writing these poems, and I cherish the seconds. Knowing there's a reason for everything, how you can't spell revolutionaries without an Aries. It's true. I'm a fire starter. Burning hot till the work is finished, but you ain't trying to hear me though. I am on a mission like an Aries, mission Aries. When you've chosen to show up, is it in obedience versus operating in fear and ego? Is consistency, accountability, responsibility, changed behaviors? Actions, all things I was omitting how I became bitter. On my journey to move away from people, starts with not liking who I was becoming. See, I did not feel safe, cared for, touched, affectionate, loyal, respectful, kindness, nor love for myself. See, I felt drained, exhausted, hurt, unheard, confined, confused, conflicted, unsafe, dishonest, hiding the need to shield and guard my heart. I felt disdain. But now I know that my soul has moved away from these energies and I will not go back. So when I say I'm doing what's best for me, this is what's at stake. Two things. God and my soul I listen to. I'm more than willing to sacrifice who I am for who I'm becoming. I've been writing these poems. And I am my first altar. So I take care of myself. See, my ancestors and spirit team, they can reach me, living visions of what's to be. And you can tell ease, vision Aries, and you can't have those without an Aries. And I stand in awe of me. I no longer lie about what's inside of me to tell you the truth. It's God. I used to feel guilty for choosing me, which meant choosing them was denying you, adversaries, and I got those because I'm an Aries. The effect is adverse, so I added a verse, and I've been writing my wrongs in these poems. The God that exists in my flesh and what I fed you grew, thickening the cellular structure of people pleasing, and it was making me miserable. Come on, people, please. Can't you see I'm miserable? I just want to feel something other than pain. And I've been writing these poems. I'm just saying, I want more than anything to open myself up, open up to trust in myself, love myself, give love to myself, receive love for myself. Be love, speak love, reciprocate love for myself. Speak my mind, heart, and soul. Build safety safely. Open my heart to abundance and pour in the experience. I want more than anything to stop lying, to stop portraying that betrayal is all I feel, so it's all I'm giving. I'm still living to define who I am. I am not a house divided, dictionaries and the roots in Aries. You can hear it in my diction. I'm no longer feeling guilty about defending who I am. No longer at odds with who I am. Even when I'm defined as defensive, living just to give all of who I am. So all I feel is betrayal, betraying the lies that I tell. I want more than anything to stop pretending, to stop playing pretend that winter depression isn't generational and attached to the trauma of my childhood. It's the time of the year when escaping the darkness was not possible in the frozen environment and no sun to keep you company when the days were bright and gray. I never noticed the color of the sky anymore. And looking up doesn't give me hope anymore. So I bow my head and overthink, just trying to meditate and pray. I've been drowning yet pretending I'm okay. That I honestly believe it when people tell me what they see, but none of what they know, because I've been writing love poems. A love like Sunday morning church, a love like don't let me leave first, a love like let's work together to make this love last forever, a love like couples therapy 3 months later, a love like time well spent together, a love like changing our lives together, a love like releasing fears, a love like effortless effort, like you hold me and I'll hold you. A love like what triggers me, you'll subside, and what triggers you, I'll alchemize. Maybe. I was seeing all of my red flags. My abandonment was staring me in the face. My issues with running in place. My inability to stand firm in my boundaries. And you can't spell those without an Aries. My desire to be the person someone wants. My self-respect and high regard for what I believe in. My issues with control. And this is how you'll know if it's you when you take a look at things from another's point of view versus what you think you see. Let them tell the story how it's meant to be. Sit back and observe. Don't be so quick to give what they haven't earned, and don't be so quick to judge. And don't take what you don't deserve. I've been writing these poems, and it hurts, yet I feel better. It's clever how what's not for you will be returned to the sender. got my ancestors in an uproar, and your body is your first defense. So pay attention to your nervous system and whether you have a nervous system or if your system is nervous. From a book I read once called Nervous, I identified a particular pattern, felt like cycles of generational change, transmutation, evolution, and elevation, unbothered, reflecting and meditating, ignoring the signs, riding the waves. See, this is how legends are made. When life hands you a mirror, give the gift of grace. With respect towards accountability, with some compassion and a dash of empathy, I've been writing these poems. Like, I take my time through the storm. Stroll through the storm, no fear, so I don't attract the storm. Like for my leisure, I retract the storm. I push back the storm, send back the storm, a fire tornado, and it can't be confined, nor kept at bay for too long. I must roam. Crashing upon shores like sea foam, and I see from above. It's in the first eye, rebirth of a phoenix rising, disguised as a shepherd. You are all my sons. Moons, stars, and galaxies reap what you sow into people. So my people, who am I? I am enamored ink. And I've been writing these poems, pulsating sacred energy, dancing with danger, flirting with fiction. I am only ready to take care of myself at this point in my life. It's just good business. I know the space that I've been called to lead in. So I'm going to lean in. I will not list my spiritual accolades. I've been destined and ordained. You'd have to be receptive to my gifts to not resist the God within. I realize that the harder your spirit has to work, the harder the toll. And I was asked once how many times my heart had been broken. My only reply was, it's been this way since conception. I've been writing these poems since before my life began. Sometimes this depression gets the best of me while I give away the rest of me. I get what's left of me, and rest of me looks like procrastination. When it's restoration, then I get to thinking about how I should cuss everybody out and never do. My higher self keeps saving me fools, and I'm left with the recipe. I'm reminded that God has the receipts. I've been peeled like an onion, purging toxins and such. I just might reap what my ancestors sowed, reap the benefit of a heart grown from the seed of God's word. You heard me correctly. Fasting till there's no ways of the world left in me. My intensity is not intentional, it's natural. And I've been writing these poems. I am enamored ink.
Girl, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Wow, wow, wow. Woo. It's I'm let me just tell you this. I got my pen out again. You got me with my pen out again. And I'll let y'all go, but you know, I'm not a poet, so this right here, this wow. So when you said, you said so much, man. Oh man. Oh wait, give me a minute. Give me a minute. I gotta figure this out. How I'm gonna do this. So first you said I'm doing what is best for me. And I love that because you said I'm the first altar. Ooh, I said, oh my goodness, this is so good. You said, man, you talked about being a visionary and the vision it's all. And you said something about you didn't used to choose you first, but then you talked about how you started to choose you. And when you said sit back and observe and don't take what you don't deserve. You know, I heard a lot in this poem where you were acknowledging things that you used to do that you're no longer doing anymore, changes that you made for the better to make you feel better about you, things that you learned about how others may have treated or mistreated you, and you put it all in here to make other people think so that they don't have to be taking that stuff anymore. That's what I got from that. Like, I used to do these things, but I don't do these things anymore, and you don't need to do them anymore either. And you said, return to sender and pay attention to your nervous system. And you started to talk about all the changes that it took you through in your body and how you made these changes, and it was life changing. Girl, my. Come on, Lene, what you got? Oh my goodness.
Look, look, I was over here. I'm telling you, I'm trying to write this as quickly as these bars is coming and look like chicken scratch on this paper. But when you said I retract the storm, that was empowering to me. Because it's basically like you took control of everything right then and there. It was like, no, I'm no longer going to be controlled. I'm no longer going to let this take me, or I'm going to take control now. And then you said I had been writing these poems and it hurts, but I
Yes,
feel better. And
yes,
that stood out to me, not only one because it was in a poem that you wrote before the show, but you also showed it when you were released the first poem, the exact same thing. You vocalized it and said, you wrote that poem, you expressed it, and it hurt to let it out, but you did. And that's the process through these poems that we have to go through. And then this line right here, when you said, what triggers you alchemizes me.
mm, mm, mm,
What?
mm, mm. And it's
My
interesting
head
because
almost went crooked trying to write that down. That is so deep. That's like, look, come on, like we can. Oh my gosh, that was everything for me.
I
That
was it.
specific line.
Yeah, AJ, what you got?
Well, when that challenge was going around, I remember Shaka G had wrote like three of them, and then Shaka G challenged me to write one. But about her poem, what I got from it is that every time I write this old me, I come out new.
Mm, 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 mm.
Summary by
Wow.
AJ Houston.
And,
You
and
go
that's
write my
that's the whole thing
reviews.
because we write everything we see, and then we move beyond the scope of where we've been.
Yeah,
Mm, with
yeah.
the
So what
pen.
I see is not what I saw. So now I'm seeing everything new. But when I write what's new, it's old.
Come on.
Hey, come on now.
Woo! AJ. Oh Lord have
This
mercy.
is
Huh?
a lot.
Wow. So listen, how do you? Oh my goodness! Now I'm gonna tell you something right here. This right here is getting ready to really be something. That right there. You keep doing what you're doing, young lady. Keep doing what you're doing. Both of you have a unique way of reaching people. AJ, you take people on a mental roller coaster, make them go deeper and further than they probably ever been before. They have to go in and use their analytical knowledge to figure it out. And if they really want to go deep, they're going to pull out some dictionaries. They're going to pull out a couple of things. They're going to really search to get understanding because you take people there to make them go. And I don't know if you heard when Anama said that she doesn't do a lot of reading because she couldn't, that was something that she was working on. And I wanted you to speak to that because see, you wrote, but see, you are the word artist. So I wanted you to say something encouraging to her about that because you had popped out when she said she felt bad because she doesn't really read that much because she's working on that. That's a challenge she has. What would you say to her? Because you see the gift she has. So I just want to know before we go into this next phase, what would you tell her? Because you didn't get the chance to do that. And I want to make sure you speak to her on that as the word artist.
But what I tell her is like a lot of times the most uncomfortable thing we do is what we need to do most of, because when you begin to find comfort in your uncomfortability to be comfortable, whether it's writing, whether it's reading, whether it's writing about life, your parents, whether it's writing about love, those are the things you have to write because you don't need to find comfort in your writing. You just need to write till you're comfortable.
Mm.
You don't need to find comfortable in your reading. You just need to read until you're comfortable, even though you read something that's, damn, okay, let me look. You might read 2 pages or 3 pages. But see, what happens is Once you begin to do the things that you're not used to doing, you find yourself doing them more because you say, oh, I got some out of that. Oh, see, when you begin to get something from the things you thought you'd get nothing from, you're going to do that more often. And your writing will change. Not you're changing because you're reading other people's work. You're changing because you're taking in more information.
Come on now.
Okay.
Receive that. Receive it,
I
girl.
receive it.
Receive
I
it
receive it.
and implement that and go forth, girl.
I receive it.
Renee, talk to me about this next phase, the cipher.
Da-da-da.
Oh my goodness. Oh
So
my goodness.
this is my favorite part of the whole show. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's my favorite part. So this part of the show is where we test the poet. Really, we don't, because the way
I
they
have
came today, I don't even think it's gonna be testing them. I think this is just gonna be walk in the park for them. So we're just gonna, really explore their creativity with the freestyle. But we need you, yes, you sitting in the chair right now, eating some food. Put the food down. I need you to put one word in the comments. So that way we have three totals. So that way these two poets can freestyle off these three words and teach you how they really do at the top of the dome. All right. So 3 words. 3 words. Let's see.
Lord have mercy.
I know I have a word that I thought about.
Mm.
So
Okay,
we
I
have,
put suppressed. I put suppressed. I see a word love. So far we have suppressed and we have love.
and I'm gonna add redemption. I'm gonna
Ooh.
add redemption.
So we have suppress, love, and redemption. Okay. And this is one that even Lene participates in. She always goes first to just give people the feel for it because some people say they're not comfortable with this. So
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy this because Lene participates in this. So we're gonna get you to set it on up.
Oh man. So suppress, love, and redemption.
I'll put them right there on the screen for you so you can see them. And you got them right there. So you have it right in front of you.
Lately I've been compressed, slightly confused with depression, but I know I've been learning these lessons. Love and redemption have been hand in hand in my path, and I don't know which cheek to turn to try to love myself or gain what I've earned, but I've been suppressing every turn, every every negative, every positive. I've been suppressing because I think I don't earn it. I don't think I need it. I don't think I want it. I just want to be loved, so I suppressed it. Pushed it all the way down so that way I'm grounded. Keep control of myself on my path of redemption. Each lesson I'm learning. That's all I got, girl. That's all I got.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We got you. We got you. All right. We're gonna
That's my
save you
best
for
one.
last. We're gonna save you for last, AJ. Enamored.
Okay. You know I didn't do these real quick. Love is my natural state of being. I mean, it's a God within me that redeems. So my redemption was paid in full. I am no longer suppressed by the rules of a world that was not built for me. I have ascended these things. Like I said, love is my natural state of being. It's the God in me that has been redeemed. Redemption no longer has me suppressed under the weight of a world that would crush love, and redeeming itself would only seem as though it would suppress more of my love for self. And it was never meant to be that way. I was never meant to be a house divided. So I'm redeemed when I collect the pieces and come back together to love and be pressed together. Sandwiched in the middle, you will see that love vibrates in between redemption and suppression.
Mm,
Oh,
mm, mm, mm. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, AJ.
I probably need to tell you how angry pens get when they ask me to style free, or is it freestyle? Like it's freestyle is free, like style is free, like my style could ever be free.
mm,
You see, I've been writing about suppression because no one really wants to know how it feels inside of me, because outside of me is so tumultuous. Storms and I are friends. I think I grew up with thunder as my neighbor. You see, suppression was never a thing. I never suppressed the emotions because I love love so much that love loves me back. And I never thought of suppression or depression. I never thought love was anything but love. Here you ask me, just style free or is that freestyle? Can't tell which is which. But anyway, my pens, my pens want you to pay them for asking me such a question. I'm gonna leave it right there.
hey yo! I gotta clap. I can't even snap on that one. We
Oh my
Lord. Oh,
goodness.
goodness.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Lene. Wow.
Oh my goodness, I'm redeeming the God in me. And then AJ's, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I think Thunder was my neighbor.
Yeah,
Mm,
that part. Thunder was my
mm,
neighbor.
mm.
Yeah, lightning was my friend.
Man.
What?
I tell y'all, I
Whew.
appreciate, this has been so good. I appreciate y'all, and I want you to know Just Star is in the building. She came through too. Just Star came through. I saw the comment for Just
Yes,
Star. She put the fingers up there. She said, "Love my gang, gang, big love my gang, gang," and she said, "Love." And just so you know, this will go out on a lot of different platforms. A lot of people will hear it and will see it. So just know that I get a lot of replays of a lot of people, so they will hear it. So I'm glad that we had no audio issues. Everything went smooth. So that's a beautiful thing. So it would definitely be seen and heard by a lot of folk. So I want to congratulate
Wait,
y'all
wait,
on.
wait, Krista, can I do one thing? I want her to hear this writing poem that Shaka G made me write. Because
Who's that?
Shaka G made me write a poem, been writing these poems because Shaka wrote through them. She's like, okay, I want you to write one. So I wrote a quick one just for Shaka. And it's not long. I wrote a quick one for Shaka because I wanted her
Is that
to hear
okay
bit.
with you, Lene?
it's okay with me.
Okay, go
Uh,
ahead, AJ.
okay, it's been writing these poems. Mine is how it's been writing. It says, been digging up bones from shallow graves. You see, Harvard forgot where they buried them slaves. Texas couldn't remember when to let them go. Been writing these poems with a left-handed shovel.
Mm,
It's impossible to miss when the whole land is a cemetery. Heard once in a whisper, ancestors' bones make the best pens for storytelling.
my God.
Found me a cadaver cat, watching her run through the suburbs, finding all the misplaced, rediscovering the last occupants of Freedman's towns. Thought we done forgot. All the townships burned and bombed. Bet they thought they put a building on them, like New York. Or a train station in Fort Worth, built a community on them, slid the whole town in a lake and forgot about it. Ran a highway right through the middle. Put a seesaw in a swing set so their children couldn't hear the screams. All that squeaking and rumbling, black bodies turning over in their graves like we can't discern the greener grass, the more bones we find. Been
Mm,
writing these poems for God's request. Got new hands for the job. Wore the last pair right down to the gristle. Black bodies, black books, black pages. Guess that's why my daddy taught me to swim. Learned me how to hold my breath a long time, like me and my brother and sisters wore chains and decided to jump ship. Been writing these poems cause niggas tend to forget.
mm,
Want to make all that bad America done. Seen that look before, eyes bucked up, like you looking for Massa or MAGA. Can't tell no more who's who. Shh, don't tell nobody, me still here writing. Posted stop long time ago, got a posse of angels looking for me, think I'm a runaway. They
mm.
say trouble coming and begging me to tell the story. Been writing these poems since they let the sun out. Shit, believe me, I was there writing in the dark.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, I tell you what, they know now. If they didn't know before, huh, Lynette?
What? He said master or maggot. Can't tell who's who. What? Wait. And then he said ancestor bones. Ancestors'
From
bones
the
make the
best.
best pen.
Not only that, it makes for the greener grass. And I got to thinking about how really green the grass is. Oh, you know what I'm saying? First of all, I was like, I've been putting, and that's why my feet don't want to touch the grass out here where I'm at. Because I promise you, the ancestors that are here buried ain't trying to have none of that. I promise you. If I put my bare feet in the grass here, I'm gonna start a revolution immediately. Immediately. I'm
Wow.
gonna do the whole South immediately. I cannot walk outside in the South.
Well,
Barefoot.
man. Woo! Man, I'm telling you. Well, listen, I appreciate you for wanting to share that. Thank you for asking. We just appreciate y'all for just hanging out with us and doing all these things. Today, you did it again. You always bring us some people that have a serious message to share, and it's just a beautiful thing. I thank you so much for doing that because it is a beautiful thing. And y'all continue to support Lene for what she does and support the different poets because the poets come out. They come out. And I got one of your very own, the Galaxy. The poet has spoken. I'll be doing his story coming up soon.
Oh,
So y'all stay tuned and look at and come
Mhm.
back and support him because he's sharing his personal story. So that'll be good. But Lene, any closing comments that you want to give? I'll let each one of you do any closing comments and just give us your closing comments, your contact information, how people can reach out to you. And if you have any appearances or any events or anything coming up, please give us an opportunity. Take this time to share that information now so that they'll know how to reach you. I'll start with you, Enamored.
okay. You can follow me on IG at enamored_evolution_yoga. You can also find me on IG at enamored.ink.poetry. That's INC poetry. You can also find me on TikTok where I host my live podcast called Compassionate Conversations every Sunday at 4:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My IG is also linked on, I'm sorry, my TikTok is also linked on my IG. But my TikTok is also Enamored Ink Poetry. Enamored Ink Poetry.
Thank you so much for that. And AJ.
You can find me at AJ Word Artist on Instagram. But I'm AJ Houston on everything. Even you find me AJ Houston on Instagram. But I do have a show I do on Instagram every morning at 7:07 a.m. Pacific. Today was episode 1,197 in a row. So I'm 3 days away from 1,200 the 1,200 episode.
Wow.
And I'm saying you can DM me. I actually do creative writing classes. I do one-on-one sessions if you would like. But I'm getting ready to do a series of writing workshops. So tune in. And on my subscription service, you get you get a newsletter. You actually get a free ebook that I've created. I have 6 ebooks so far, but I'm creating 12. And one of the ones you can pick from right now is Why Sketch the Sky When a Pen Can Paint a Galaxy.
Mm.
So but I write if you want to write some I'll actually help you facilitate the idea on what you want to publish and how to get it published.
So
Also,
you want
just
them to
follow me.
reach you on IG. You don't want to give an email or phone number. They just need to go to IG.
Well, you can follow me on IG. You can take my phone number. My phone number, if you want to call, my phone number is 725-246-6274. I don't care. 725-246-6274. AJ Houston.
Well, I know that you do a lot of services, so I wanted to make sure you gave the opportunity for that. So we thank you so much. Once again, you are in our prayers. Hang out with us. We're almost
What,
done.
what is
Stay
Lene
tuned
laughing?
in.
Lene, what you laughing at?
AJ Houston. That's how
Oh,
you do. He's like, I don't care, call me. What's up? AJ Houston.
Any
So,
closing comments from you, Lene? Anything you have coming?
My name is Lene Monroe. Y'all can follow me on Instagram, Lene Monroe 91, Facebook, Lene Monroe. I don't have TikTok, but I have Instagram and Facebook. We do have a show. Oh, and also follow the Poetry Life events. That's where me and Slow-Mo are curating open mics. A lot of places. So y'all definitely make sure y'all keep a follow on that because there's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of updated shows coming soon. So follow me on Instagram for all that information. We have a show this Saturday. It's going to be featuring Miss Ayana Gallant. Make sure y'all check that out. Tickets are only $5. And also, again, we want to give love to Miss Betty. She was not able to be here with us tonight because she's a little bit under the weather, but we're going to send her prayers. We give love to the poets that came up today, Enamored Ink, as well as Mr. AJ. And we give love to Mr. AJ as well, too, because he is going through a family loss right now. So we want to also just make sure we're giving appreciation for these moments because it takes a lot sometimes to come out and just be like, hey, I'm able to read a poem for you, but I got a lot of stuff going on in the background. So we want to give love. Thank you to everybody that came to the show. Essence, Queen Shay, Paige Cook, Slow-Mo the Poet. We have Jeff Star in the building, and everybody that will be watching this later. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all. Everything the poet has spoken. Hello, beloved. Make sure y'all check out his interview coming out with Miss Shao Crystal. She told you soon. And yeah, thank y'all. Love y'all. Be great. You're the only you there is. Keep doing you. Keep smiling. Keep being great. Keep learning. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. If you need to take time to read, then take time to read. If you need to take time to write, take time to write. But take time for you because you're the only you that there is. Peace.
That sounds amazing.
Oh, wait, I can't hear you, Miss Crystal. I can't hear you.
We're going to go ahead on and we're going to let you see what we have left. Make sure you go check out her conversations. And we are going to close out with one last announcement and then we'll make our way through. So just hold tight for this one last announcement and we'll close out. And we want to thank everybody for coming through. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and follow all our guests. Okay. Thank you so much. We're here on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8 p.m. And once again, we got your boy, a poet Unspoken, coming with his story coming soon. So check that out. Follow us and check that out. It's Shout Crystal. Okay. And one moment. Hold, please. All right, everybody. Are you ready? This is Crystal. I am so excited to have you here on Storytime. I want you to know that now you can be seen and heard. Yes, Storytime has expanded and you will be able to see yourself streaming live on multiple platforms. So come on over and get with us and check it out. I want you to go ahead and schedule your interview, and you never know where they might find you online. So thanks for watching. See you somewhere on the internet.
A catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey!
All right, everybody. Are you ready? This is Crystal. I am so excited.
A catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey!